All right, we are live. Hopefully, audio is working. I'm just gonna do some quick audio checks to make sure everything is good. Uh, Looks like it's doing okay. All right, audio checks out. We're good there. Let's turn on some music. Restream has this like new functionality that allows you to embed music, which is pretty cool. Let's get some lo-fi music going. I don't know if you guys can hear the music in the streams. That's pretty cool if you can. Okay, we got some music. Let me see. Can you guys hear the music? Um, Checking that. Cool. Yeah, music looks like you can hear that. Okay, cool. Just doing some quick checks. So this stream hopefully will be super quick. I just want to wrap up the completion of the web app that we started yesterday. And hopefully we can just get that done. And then we'll do more live streams over the coming days or weeks to build out more features of this Mimic on Fire dataset. So, and size in the stream, he says, "Oh yes, thanks for confirming that." Okay, before I get into finishing the web app, I just want to quickly do a let's see, where's the chat? Quick plug. I'm doing these like 30-minute interviews with different individuals because really trying to focus on what is the pain points people have in trying to solve as they are watching this type of content. Like what is your pain points? What do you want to learn? Why do you want to learn it? And what are you currently doing to learn it? Things like that. Go check that out. Fill out the form. We'd love to chat more with you one-on-one about what those pain points are. In any case, let's jump into the code. Last time we had, let me actually switch this window. Last time we basically got to the part where the GitHub repo cannot host files that were larger than 25 megabytes. Let me share my screen real quick so you can see what I'm doing. Just going to quickly go to GitHub, and then we were using the Mimic FHIR repository, which again, if you guys want to check out the code, tinker with it yourself, definitely go check it out. It's just the Mimic-FHIR repository. And what I want to do is these files. So I was able to actually load the patient.ndjson file, but the observation, or rather the labs file, was too large. So we need to change that. Let me see. So let me open the code, which, let me see. What I usually like to do, because if you were following last time, is like I like to split the way I develop, where Streamlit is Streamlit and then non-Streamlit is non-Streamlit, because the way the code works for Streamlit is sometimes a little different. And so I don't like to mix the two. So I'm going to go back to the original notebook where I was developing this before we turned it into Streamlit to get something working where I'm able to grab the files from a Google Drive, download it, bring it into the data frame, and then do what we need to do with it versus uploading it to GitHub. That's the goal of what we were trying to do today. And I did, for like a few minutes, tinker with it after the stream, and I think we have something that we can start with. So here's the notebook. I'm just going to click this link, which I guess the picture is broken. If you click on it, it should take us right into the code, which is super nice. That's why I love Colab. And then this is all the code. We give it a run. Run anyways. And it probably will fail because I don't have the files loaded. Yeah. To view the results. I don't know where the error. Oh, right here. there's no DF, which I don't think. No, anyways. Oh yeah, this is for this specific patient. Let me load the files in here first. Actually, I don't need to load it. What the goal is to put it into a Google Drive. So did I not add? Oh, I don't think I did. I think it's in my actual Colab notebook, which wasn't uploaded yet. So sorry, I was just kind of thinking to myself. I made some code changes yesterday to basically download a file from Google Drive, and it's not in the one that I uploaded to GitHub. So I'm going to switch to that right now. Same notebook. I'm in Colab again. I believe this is the one that has it. Let me see. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Hopefully I saved it. Let me check my notebook. Exploring FHIR. Nope. Git file. Oh, it's this one. I just basically added it to the Streamlit one. So, okay, we can do that. But I do want to bring it back to the other one instead. So I basically added the code to the Colab notebook that had the Streamlit code in it. So you can see this is the Streamlit. I don't want it in there. I want to, or maybe it's fine. We'll just work on it from here. So, okay, this is what I did after the stream yesterday, which again is the file's too big. I uploaded it to Google Drive, which let me show real quick. Google Drive. Let's go into my Google Drive. Let's see. How do you share this? Okay. So I have a folder for Google Drive called Mimic. And then this is, I was exploring the chest x-rays, but I made one yesterday for FHIR, and then the data for FHIR. And then I have the two files loaded to the Google Drive. So the goal here is to write a function that can grab the files from a Google Drive, which I have the space for it, and I can bring it into the data frame. So this file I already made shareable. So I need to make this file shareable. Share. Let's do anyone with link. Copy link. Okay. Let's go back to here. And so this is the function I found yesterday, and no different than what I was doing yesterday, which was basically using ChatGPT to write code for me that would do this. And I basically said, hey, the file's too large to be put into GitHub. And then they actually recommended to store it on Google Drive. I do that for a lot of my other files anyway, so this was not like a new thing or something foreign. And this is what they suggested. So they have a function that they wrote for me that says download file from Google Drive. This is like the URL of the base in case you want to, reuse it for other files. And then you basically pass in the file ID that you want to download and put into the data frame. So let's see. So you have this, and then where's the file? Oh, here's the file. So I was testing this. I believe this is the file for the patient. So let me define that somewhere. Basically, what we want to do is define within our code the file IDs of the files we want to download. So, and let's say that somewhere. So let's put that over here. Define the file IDs for the files that actually define for the files that we want to download from Google Drive. Okay, I'm pretty sure this one is the file ID for patients. File ID for observation labs. So let's do a I probably should just keep be consistent. Let's do observations. Let's do ob file ID equals, and then this was the whole file, but we only need the ID, which we don't need this piece, and all this is extra. So we just need this. I think we're good. I actually missed for patients and observations. Let's just group them together actually. Something like this. This looks nice. So we have our two file IDs. And then this is going to run our function here. So we basically pass each one of them here. It grabs it and it returns this. It'd be nice if this was all inside the function. It just returns the data frame. Patients list. Yeah, I think that would be more ideal. What I'm thinking about right now is when the code was written yesterday, this is all outside of the function. I want to put everything like compacted nicely into a function itself, so I can just move the function around. Because if I don't, then I need to like put this somewhere in my lines of code, and it's just kind of messy. It's easier to organize everything into the file. So my goal here would then be putting in a file ID, which is the input, and then returning instead of whatever this thing is here. I don't know if it's like a raw file. I think this is the raw file is what it'll return. I want it to return a data frame, which is easier to work with and basically what we've been working with already. So I'm just going to ask ChatGPT to do this after I confirm that the code is working. So here was where I define it, file stream. Let's see, file ID. So let's annotate, test that the code is working. And then basically it's gonna grab this and put this in here, and then turn this into a data frame. So let's give this a try. Yeah, this is when I tested it yesterday. So let's try this. No, I may have to rerun everything. I'm feeling, yeah, I need to define everything. The reason why, just because I'm trying to teach too, the reason why this is erroring is because this stuff hasn't been run. Let me just run this. And of course, I need to run this as well. Whenever you go back into a Colab notebook, you have to usually rerun everything. And so that's what I'm doing right now. So let's let Streamlit install. And then clear the output because it's kind of large. Let's rerun all our functions over here. No, we have an error. Oh, because the files are not in there. Let's get these loaded real quick. And I think while it's loading, let's go ahead and just bring in the JSON. So that should work. Okay, cool. So this right now tells me that I'm able to successfully define the files I want, which is stored in Google Drive, pass that over to this function called download file from Google Drive over here, and it spits out, I'm assuming, the raw file. And then this stuff down here will convert it into a data frame, which is what Python likes to use. It's a data structure in Python that we use to display this. This is basically a data frame. So let's ask ChatGPT to basically take all of this stuff that's outside of the function and put it into the function so it's easily packaged. I'm just going to copy and paste. Go over to ChatGPT. And then say, I have the following code. Yep. And I want to bring all the code related to converting the, I don't remember what the name of the thing was, the download file, this thing, this object to the bytes IO, converting the bytes IO object into a data frame inside of the function, so that the function will return a data frame instead of a bytes IO object. Okay, let's see what it says. So download returns a data frame. You need to perform the conversion from JSON inside the function. Exactly what do we want to do? Import pandas. We already have that in there. Inside, after downloading, decode the contents and split into lines. I'm actually kind of lazy. It's probably pretty easy to just like bring the part that I want into the function. But it's, ChatGPT is easy. It's just like you're basically talking to like a software engineer that can do the work for you, which is really nice. Let's see. And as I was saying yesterday too, it's always good to like read through this to like have an understanding of what it's doing, how you should approach the problem, things like that. And always being skeptical too, because oftentimes it's wrong. So let's see. Here's your modified code. What did it do here? So I think this is the part, yeah. So send a request, raise response, get response. I think this was the part that was outside of the function. Convert each line into a JSON. And then convert. So here it is. So it's going to return the data frame for us. So yeah, this looks good. Let's give this function a try. And actually, it's just the code is. That's the other thing I like about ChatGPT is like when it rewrites the code for you, it will add all these annotations, which is super nice and helpful. So that's why I like to pass all that stuff in there. Let's go here, and then our function is here. Let's paste that. And so actually I should just paste it over my stuff. Let's do that. Okay. We have our two files, download, and directly get the patient data frame. Okay, cross my fingers and hope this works. Success. Why does it look like this? I think it's like, it's definitely passing in a different data type than I want. I don't want all these like stuff. And so what I want is, what did they do here? Get and what I'm doing right now is I'm just going back and forth with ChatGPT to see what they changed, because I like this. If we go back and run the code that I had, you see how like it doesn't have all the brackets and stuff. That's the output that I actually want, and I need to figure out what they did to get that. Let's read the content, decode, split lines. Let me go back here. Okay, that worked, but the output is not ideal since it contains since each of the values contain things like this, and can you make it so that the final data frame looks more like this? Here we go. I'm going to paste an example that they know about. Here was the code that was outputting that 2 for reference. So I'm going to go back to the code. Okay. Let's see what it says. Further process and organize into more readable concepts. So parse should be responsible. Parse patient record. Oh, I see. I didn't realize that I was doing that. So if you guys you don't understand what they're saying here is it's saying that in this output, I was calling another function to further clean it up. And that function here is this parse patient record that we created yesterday. And that's the one up here. That's the one that took the raw JSON file and turned it into a much more cleaned up piece. So I need to get this function working because it had this error earlier because our files didn't exist. So let me just run it. So we have our functions. This looks good. You can ignore these warnings. Whenever you're running Streamlit, like the way I'm developing right now, basically this allows you to run it locally. That's not what I want to do. But this basically means there's no errors. We're good to go. That function should now be available. And so here, I'm surprised that actually worked before too, that function. Let's see. I'm gonna go back here and then let's see what they did. So the function should be responsible, but it's not shown in your code snippet. This function design and return a click dictionary to make sure the final data, sure the parse is worked correctly extracting. Here's a revised that includes a dummy. Okay, I don't care about that. This code takes, okay. Let's give this a try. Share this instead. And let me just try it down here real quick. I think this looks good. Let me do it like this. Nice. Okay, so this works. And I just need to basically do this for the observation file as well. And I think what I want to do is, ideally, I'm not going to do it tonight actually, is, because I'm a little lazy right now, is turning this into a list and then using a function to go through each one of them to pass it into here and to output the data frame, just because eventually there's a ton of files in the Mimic database that we're going to need to do this for, and we don't want to do this each time. But for now, it's fine. The main thing we're trying to get is a working web app. So this function works, and what I'm going to do is just go ahead and copy paste this and paste it into here. There we go. And let's confirm one more time. All right, that looks good. So I'm just going to delete this part and delete this. Okay. So we have one for patient and obs. So what I'm going to need to do, if I go back to my main function, is loading the data and then with patient open. This might have to change a little bit the way I'm doing this. So this downloads the file and gets it. So I think I need to do this above this part. So let me see. So this is the main function. If patient reference observation, find observations for patients. Oh, because this part's already ran. This should be adjusted based on how you're loading the data. I wonder if it's already defined here. Oh, hold on. Let me try it down here instead. df.head. Okay, maybe it's defined. And just to think out loud right now is I'm trying to, before these functions run, have a data frame that's already defined in the code, because otherwise they won't know what the data is. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, and where to place it to make sure it's defined before this stuff is run. Let's see, load data. So this goes and grabs that. Okay. So I think this is where I was doing it before. So patients with open. Yeah, this is where I was doing it before. And this is where I was defining it. Patients and converting it to a data frame. So this is code that is obsolete. So this was converting it to a data frame, and this was parsing the Google Drive file. So basically I added a step above this to download. Okay. So I need to grab this. Let me actually just put in the function first. The function will go underneath our other functions right there. And then this will then go underneath that. Where is it? Oh, right here. Right here. Let's put it down here. Okay. So we're gonna load the data by load data. Say load data. First, define the file IDs for drives for what to download from Google Drive. Multiple steps. And I'm adding all these annotations to make it easier to read, and then like for anyone that's following to kind of understand what I'm doing. So step 1, we need to define what the files are. Step 2, we want to download and get the data frame. So this download from Google Drive, and then we pass in this function. This download file goes here and it grabs that. Okay, I think we're good. And so we have one data frame here, and then we want to do the same for the other one. So we want a observation data frame equals this. Okay. Download and get data frame. And then this stuff is all unnecessary now. We don't need that, because now we have a data frame, and then these data frames will then be called down here. What is this patient? Oh, this is the ID. I think we're good. Let's give this a run to see if any errors occur. Observation. It says, what is this? It says expecting value. Oh, this one is specific to patient. So return. That's kind of interesting. Basically, when I was writing the function, I only gave them data for the patient's data frame. I need them to do this for this too. So this function is only specific to the patient. So what I want to do, because I'm lazy, I'm going to copy this and then paste it back into ChatGPT and ask it, hey, I just got an error because it looks like you wrote the function to be specific to the patient, to the patient's data. Here is my current code. Can you modify? Oops. Can you modify it so that the download from Google Drive function can take in files beyond patients? Let's see what it says. It reads like it might be doing something a little extra. I don't know why we need this parser function there. Takes additional argument, which is a function that processes each line of the file. I guess that is fine. There's different way. Like in my head's kind of like thinking, what is the best way of doing this? This is probably fine for now. We just want to get that working web app. So let's maybe go ahead and do this. So what is it doing? Download file. So you basically pass in what you're wanting to parse. I don't think these are necessary. I think it's just kind of extra though. That's the problem. It's according to the patient. Let's give it a try though, actually. It's doing something a little different than what I'm typically used to. Let's give it a try. I really hope this works. Okay, I'm gonna try it down here. And then go back here, grab this stuff. There we go. So we have our functions. Parser function. Parser function. Okay. Expecting. Where's that? Let's see what it's doing. So if we get an error, go to ChatGPT and show them the error. Issue with parsing. This can happen. Data might not be invalid. The structure file might be what's different. Parse observation record. Hopefully the files are correct. Uh, 19. I was just checking the file IDs just to make sure they look correct. Let's see. 1S6. The file IDs look correct. I'm not sure. So it says, what did they do? Issue of parsing data. There could be empty lines. You can modify the code. think I'm a little stuck. Parse observation record. I want to keep it as simple as possible. Actually, let's try something a bit different. Instead of creating, of adding a new parameter for the type of data, e.g., patient or observation, that we want to parse, I actually want to hard code in that function the two files that we want to download from the Google Drive and extract it and return two data frames, one for patient and one for observation. Can you modify it so that it does that? And the reason why I'm doing a lot of this too is because I want to keep the code as simple as possible. So when I'm troubleshooting, there's not all these different errors. And so it's trying to keep it super simple. Hard coding, at least right now, just kind of a proof of concept. And then later on, we can refactor the code to make it much more scalable to handle other things. Yeah, so this makes more sense. So it looks like what ChatGPT did is they wrote a single function that contains other functions, which I don't think I really wanted to do it this way, but that's fine. You're downloading a file. That's what it does. And they return this content. And then this seems fine. File IDs for the things. So we defined it in there. We then download the data. Looks good. And then we parse the data. Yeah, this is pretty clean. I actually like this. And then we create the data frames and then return the two data frames back. So hopefully this works. I like this. It doesn't scale once we have more files, but for now, I think this is good, assuming it works. Okay, let's give this a try. Let's copy the code. Let's go down here. Paste. It says expecting line 1. Line 1, column 1. I wonder if it's a similar issue as before, like yesterday. Let me take a look at what the 131 megabytes. Where is my file? I wonder if it's missing something. It might be. So I think when I downloaded this, I might have an issue with my observations lab data. So, okay. What I want to do here, so if you've been watching along, you can tell that I'm having a lot of issues with this observation file. Good troubleshooting is let's just ignore the patient one and just look to see if we can troubleshoot what's going on with this observation piece. Let me go back here. Oh, actually, let me copy the error. Go back here. I think there may be something wrong with the observation file based on this error. Does that sound correct? If so, I want to troubleshoot just the observation file to check if that's the case. That's the case. I was hoping this would be a quick live stream. It's taking a little longer than expected. Okay. I was hoping to simplify it so the code is just like troubleshooting the observation one to avoid having ChatGPT basically retype everything, because sometimes it does take pretty long based on how like long your code base is. But let's just try what they have first to see. Yeah, so they're going to check to see if there's an error. I assume it's probably similar to the issue yesterday where the file wasn't fully like downloaded. Run this. Hmm? I don't want to print the patient ones. Oops. Let's try that. What is this? That's super interesting. Don't. Error decoding. That seems odd. So it's saying there's like a line in there that it's not expecting. I don't even know where that line would be. What I'm gonna do is, because I see the file size, so let me see. The file size here is 131. And if I look at my actual file, it is 137. I'm gonna assume it's very similar to yesterday, where I'm just gonna get rid of this. In that the file, when it got uploaded to Google Drive yesterday, maybe didn't finish. Oh, that's kind of odd. So this looks like it's copy link. You go back here and see what that file is. What do you paste? I'm just grabbing the new link for my file. Copy and paste, because I just re-uploaded the new one. So this is the new file that I'm using. Okay. Let me just say, can we keep this simple? Actually, let's have it troubleshoot that error that we just found first, which is down here. Here is the error message. It's being redirected. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So there was nothing wrong with the file. It's just something that Google Drive does when it's a large file. So to bypass this warning, learn something new. You need to confirm the download in the request. This can be done by initially making a request to get the confirm token. So you can modify the function to handle this. Wow, it's just got more complicated. But now you learn something new, right? So whenever you're working with large files that you want to store somewhere like Google Drive, you probably need to do something like this when you have a file that's larger than 100 megabytes, because you get this extra confirmation warning about viruses. So basically, You might need to install this package. Oh, great. Another package. Get confirmed token. Download and parse data. Create data frames. Use functions program. Okay. Now includes a session to handle cookies. Extracts the confirmation token. Allow you to download file. Make sure you have requests installed for this to work. Okay, let's give this a try. So ChatGPT did this, which omitted some of my code already. And so I don't want to copy this entirely because it's going to remove some of my code if I do so. So what I want to do is above this, grab the new functions that they created. Oh, I forgot I was on this page. So I'm reading this. So I'm gonna grab this new function that they gave us here, which handles that virus piece. Let me go back up here. And I want to do it. Oh, actually, let me do this first. So it knows that this is a, oh, let me do it manually first. Gonna grab, what is import re? Download and parse data. So download from Google Drive. Let me just get rid of it to make it simple. So clean working space. Get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. And this was the error earlier. So, okay, I have these things. Download from Google Drive. Let me just rename this function real quick. Define. Go back down here. Add this. Grab these pieces. I don't actually know what they omitted, so I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. What did you omit in your response? Where you said, oh, so it's the old functions to complete a code with the rest of your existing code. Okay, nice. So basically they're gonna go through it all over and then just like print out the whole thing. So I can, then I can copy and paste. Okay. Well, it's, oh, here it goes. Okay, this looks good. So the update, let's give this a try. I gotta remember, this is not the correct file. So let me just copy this over into here. And then grab my new file. Share. I'm just going here to share the new file that I had. Copy link. Go back over here. Paste the new link. Oops. And then just copy this in. Just gonna let ChatGPT know, so the next time they write more code, they can use the new file. By the way, the ops file has a new ID. Okay, so I think that should be it. Let me just read through it real quick. We have our download from Google Drive. Does this like confirm token? I actually don't understand this really right now, so I have no idea if this is going to work or not. I'm just going to trust ChatGPT for now. This looks the same as the other functions earlier. This is what does the downloading of the data. Download from Google Drive. We parse both of the records. We create the data frame and we return these data frames. And then down here, we will print the data frame. So I don't want to test the patient part because I know they kind of work. Let's try this. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Oh, looks like I got this as an error. Parse an empty string. See, this gets very complicated to troubleshoot now because now we have multiple functions. I just want to try troubleshooting, like starting as simple as possible. Can we even download the observations file from the Google Drive first? Because that's the main thing causing the issues. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to let's just troubleshoot the observation file and then write a new function that tests that. Let's try something super simple because the code is already getting complex. I basically want to troubleshoot whether we can even download the observation file, which is super large, into my Colab environment. Can you write a new function that will do solely that, and we can troubleshoot further afterwards? Nice. Okay. Confirmation token. Save the content to a file. Download completed. I need to learn how these tokens work because I'm actually not very familiar with that. So the function will download the file and save it in your Colab environment. That'd be cool. So even before any processing, after running, you can check the file. This ensures the file being downloaded in chunks, which is essential to prevent memory issues. Okay, let's give this a try. Copy, go over here. Let's try it in a new area. It says download completed. That's a good sign. So I was able to go here, download the file. Download the observation file. Download from Google Drive. What is it Does it return anything? It doesn't return anything. Okay, let me go back here. Okay, I think that worked since it said download completed. Can we now simply display the actually no. Okay, I think that worked since it said download completed. Can you add the processing steps to it now and output the first few lines of the data frame? This is what I do typically when I troubleshoot, by the way, not even in like coding wise, but when I was working in the AHR setting, I try to make the scenario as simple as possible, test like a single thing, not like multiple things. In this case, is like multiple functions, and then test something simple and then start adding complexity and scenarios to it. Sometimes it takes longer, but it really helps in troubleshooting because otherwise it gets very unwieldy. Did you rewrite the whole thing? No. Let's see. What did it do? Download and process large file. I've never done code like this where it's like two functions within each other. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's because the way I was asking it to do it. Download the file, process the file, create a data frame, and then return that data frame. Okay, cool. Let's give this a try. So just copy it. Go back here. And let's cross our fingers. Something is messing up there. Download and process large file. It's able to download it. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Go back here. Let's see what ChatGPT says. They keep saying JSON, but I wonder if they remember that this is a nd.json file. With open as file, skipping invalid JSON line. It should help in understanding whether the file it contains JSON or not. Let's just give it a try. Oh yeah, it's still doing this. It's the virus scanning warning. So I guess that's the thing. Maybe it wasn't successfully downloading the file. It was successfully downloading the virus warning, which is why I keep getting this error. Here is the output. I believe, based on the previous success in downloading the file, that it was probably just downloading the virus warning instead. What do you think? Oh, we have some comments. So Ambassador Tim Honeybadger reposted, and then someone said UWU. I actually don't know what that means. And then Abel says, hi. Hi, Abel. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, we're already at 1 hour. A bit longer than expected. Okay, let's see what it says. It's indeed downloading code instead of the actual observation. This is a common issue when we try to download. Page you're seeing is what a user would normally see when attempting to download a file. The code needs to correctly interpret and respond to this warning by sending a confirmation back. by the warning page, including, let's modify the code to handle this. Process the file and create a data frame. Is now equipped to parse the HTML warning page and extract the confirmation token. This token is then used to make a new request confirming the download of the large file. This is super interesting. Okay. So let's give this a try. Did it? I actually don't know if it did anything. Let me try this one more time. Because it looked like it gave the same output. Oh, look. So, yeah, it probably didn't work because this is the JSON. And then when it went back, it probably didn't get it. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Still downloading instead of the actual data file. This is the way it's extracted. How the follow-up request is made. Instead of trying to automatically parse or modify to manually include the token, download to your browser and then copying the confirm parameter. Does that even work? Huh. Oh, Bell says, hello from Africa. That's pretty cool you're tuning in, man. Hello to you as well. Let's see. I wonder if there's a better way of handling large files. I assume the answer is yes. I assume this is usually stored in a database somewhere too. Let's just give their recommendation a try. Oh, what is this? This is kind of odd. Download large file. Return data frame. Process the file. Return data frame. Downloaded file. Where's your downloaded file? Oh, this is still part of the thing. Downloaded file.json. File ID. I'm kind of confused as to why this works because basically their code was suggesting that we have to manually download this token. A little confused. Yeah, it's grabbing the file. I'm like really confused. I mean, it works. That's cool. I don't know what it did. Let me try to read through it again. So there's a confirmed token that gets passed into here. It's so confusing. And then the file ID. So you're passing all this into download and process large file. And then within this function, you define another function here. And you're saying to download this file from Google Drive, which would then pass this into it. and then adding the confirmation token to the request parameters. So you're adding the file ID and some confirm token, which is like some made up thing. Response, you get the base URL, stream true. Records with open downloaded JSON file. I don't know where this is downloaded file JSON is coming from. Where is that defined? I'm not really used to writing these type of functions to parse files either, so I'm probably missing something. With open, for line, try, records append. I don't know. I mean, this works, except the fact that this is still in this kind of format. So let me just tell ChatGPT that this worked, and then I'm gonna show the output of it. Kind of strange, but the code worked without any changes to the action, without any changes to the confirm token. Here is the output. However, the output should be more processed like we had before. Can you, one, tell me why this worked? And two, modify the code so that the final data frame is more processed, so that it doesn't have the things like and I'm glad to hear that the download worked this time. This should download attempt, but the processing step encountered an issue due to the unexpected format of the downloaded content. It might have processed the already downloaded file correctly. I don't know if that makes sense to me. And down here, the raw JSON needs to be correctly loaded into the data frame, but it includes nested structures. Readable, and we can modify or process these things. Here's the code. I think it's doing a little too much because we already had a function that does that. So let me go back up here. And then keep in mind, I eventually want to merge all this code into my original one here. Integrating the new code. Pause a few steps. Handle the downloading separately from the patient file. Can remain as is. That's another thing I like about ChatGPT is like there are so many different functions that's being introduced right now, and it gets a little messy. And to simplify, we want to integrate everything together. So I just basically dump the two different types of things being written and then ask ChatGPT to just do all the integration for me. Integrating the new code. Let's see, keep the download and confirm and change for downloading smaller files. Modify the download and parse data function to include a separate process, which involves downloading the file, saving it, and then processing it. Use for pandas to process the observation data effectively. Here's the updated download. I don't know why they wouldn't use the data from here. Oops. Would you not want to reuse the functions that we had in earlier? We had written some functions previously about how to extract the observations and patient data, and I'm just kind of curious why we weren't reusing them. Nice. And I think that was, without those functions, that was was causing all the brackets to be introduced into my data frame. Okay, so here's the new functions, existing functions. Download. Used to process each line is used to process is the observation data is processed by reading from the downloaded file and then creating a data frame. This gets a little confusing, and ChatGPT does this pretty often, again, where they like omit a lot of the code. And if you're not very, like if you're kind of lazy like me and not wanting to like modify specific pieces and just do a copy and paste, it gets a little annoying. So what I do is I'm going to have it integrate with Streamlit completely now and just copy and paste this. And I'm going to say, here is my current code that I'll actually, can you reformat all of that into my code I'm using for Streamlit here. Please write out the entire code so that I can basically copy and paste. Okay, cool. Let's let ChatGPT do the work for us. Hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. We'll see how it goes. What's nice about this, and going back to like the whole, they're doing the same thing again. Going back to the whole thing with, really taking advantage of these technologies as a non-technical person to kind of tell it what to do. And when I'm working with these LLMs, I like to structure things a certain way. And I think the advantage of having them like this is they can just basically do the work for you. And as you develop further and further and more complex scenarios, you might want to break up certain things, like a really large function into multiple functions, or something like creating a new function for things that you're doing over and over again, things like that. Okay, hopefully, cross my fingers, like this works. I have a feeling it's probably going to error out because there's a lot of moving parts here, but we'll see. Download and process observation data just to manage the loading of both patient when the stream starts, the rest of your script. make sure this test is integrated. Tests, especially the data as handling large files, might introduce new complexities. Okay. So load data is the load data function. User input, find observations. Let's start from the top. So I'm going to go and just paste everything here. I think I might have already had it in here, but let's see. Okay. The custom parsing functions are fine. I'm going to grab this function, download file from parse observation, find observation, download file from Google Drive, paste that into there. Wait, just make sure that was a download file from Google Drive. Yep. Download file from Google Drive. Get confirmation token. Download and process observation data. Let's put that underneath it. Download and process observation data. So what did it do up here? Download file from Google Drive, and this is download and process. Get confirmed token. I can get rid of this stuff. Go back here, find observations for patients. I think I already have that in there, right? Find observations for patients. Yeah, I already have that in there. So I can move on to this, the load data function. And I'm probably copy this whole thing. Copy. And we're going to go here. Okay, cool. So they added this new load data function. This is pretty clean, like just separating these parts. So the load data function will define the files for us. And then we have the two data frames. So the patient one uses a different function versus the observation. Download from Google Drive, patient file ID. Oops, that's not it. Download from Google Drive. That one's fine. Download from Google Drive. Download and process observation data. This one will go here. Download from Google Drive. Records. I think it's missing something because this function, or rather this one right here, uses the parse observation record, but this one for the patient does not. Base session. Yeah. Parse patient record. No, actually, let's just run the code and see if this works first. It's a little annoying. I think I should have stuck to decoding this step by step instead of integrating it all together again. We'll run to the restroom real quick. I will be right back. All right, I am back. All right, not sure how many people are going to find this interesting. If you do, great for you. It's just going to be probably me just struggling through some of this, but maybe someone will find this useful. Maybe it's interesting. So let's see, going back up here, download and pre-process. Check it out. There's HTML indicative download and display an error message, which can indicate download and process data. Oh, this is pretty helpful. So this does a little bit of troubleshooting for us. Basically, the issue that we've been running into where when we download data, get that initial error. Maybe that error still exists actually. And for whatever reason, coincidentally, when we're trying to resolve it at first, it just resolved from something else. Okay, so where was this? Download and process observation data. Download and process observation data. Hold on, I'm trying to look to see. This is a new function that they created. Download and process observation data. Was that in here? Oh, it is. It's right here. Okay. There it is. Let's give this a try to see what it does. Well, that's kind of weird. It just ran. So if file starts with content, otherwise it'll return. Load data, define main, load data. Okay. I don't know if that means it worked. This is not good because like you usually want to understand why it worked and why it didn't. If it works, then let's see if this works. So I'm gonna do print of this to see if it does. No, because I mistyped. String object. Oh yeah, because I don't think it's like processing. Which is right here. So download from Google Drive. Parse observation, yeah. Let me go back here. I think that may have worked. By the way, it looks like you aren't processing the patient file because it's missing the function. It is to ensure the function is being used, you need to make sure it's being called when the patient data is downloaded. Let's modify load data to ensure that the patient's processed using function. If I were to rewrite this code, I'll probably do like right here where there's a function where it's loading the data, which is pretty straightforward, but then another one that is like specifically for processing the data, really breaking it up into specific parts, so then it's easier to troubleshoot again. Download each line representing patient record in JSON format is processed using the parse function. It's converted to a data frame. Okay, so this part is download, and then, okay, let's see if this works. Oops. What am I doing? Go back over here, and I want to go down to the load data, and do this. Do here's download and process observation data. This seems pretty clean. So let's give this a try. See if that works. Did work. So let's see if we can print this. Patient DF head. Nothing appeared. And I don't know if it's related to because it's the Streamlit app. So I'm just going to run it down here. Or rather, let me do this right here. I'm going to get rid of this down here. DF. Oops. Okay. So we have that. Load data. This is what I want to do to see if it correctly processed the data. Okay, it did. So let's see if it correctly processed the observation data. No, it did not. This is frustrating. So it's able to process the patient data. It's just not able to process the observation data. And it's getting late. I'm debating if I should continue and do this another day. We are so close. Let me see how best I can do this. So loading the data. Okay. Let me think about something different too then. Looks like nothing is being stored in the observation DF. Kind of curious, is there a how does Streamlit handle scenarios when file sizes are very large? Is there an alternative to Google Drive? Actually, let's stick with it. We've been doing this for a while. I think what I'll do is I'm just gonna retry to do this again, and breaking it down into smaller steps specifically for the observations. All right. So it looks like the current code is not correctly parsing observation data from that large file. Can we start again with a simple test to load the observation data? Load the observation data from the Google Drive, and print the contents of it if successful. You guys gonna bear with me? I think tonight's probably gonna be more troubleshooting than really diving deep into the mimic part of things. Okay, download file from Google Drive. Get confirm token. Download observation file. Let's give this a try. Usually when it keeps doing this over and over again, you get an idea of like what it's trying to do, and you can just go in and start correcting the code yourself versus asking ChatGPT. So I'm going to try it down here. Download file. Here's your observation file. Download the observation file, which goes to this function. Pass this in, and then response base URL token if token. Get confirm token. Oh, for a key value, and it's trying to do this whole download token thing again. So let's just run it, see what it does. So yes, we get that warning once again. It's definitely related to this warning. And it looks like it's not even printing out the full thing probably. So the actual, this usually happens when the file handle the script you need to modify, parse and use from the warning page. So the suggestion here is to like manually put the token in, but my thought was that tokens change, so probably wouldn't work for what we're trying to do, which is a web app. Will this actually work though, since tokens probably will change? Oh. Oh, I see. I think I see. I think Google probably has a better access to this. Oh, this is a Google Drive API? That would be more ideal. The other thing I was thinking about is Google Cloud Storage, which is pretty commonly used too. Since we're in Google Drive already, let's see if we can do the Google Drive API. Can we use the Google Drive API? That should be a lot easier instead of doing all this download. Google Drive API. This is cool. So we might learn how to do something different, some more stuff. Actually, let's not go through all this right now. Let's start with, because I really want to show how we can turn this into a web app, so people at least know how to grab the data in the direction we're going versus troubleshooting all this. I'll probably work on this later and then come back to it and show how we can integrate the Google Drive API instead. So let's instead do just the patient browsing. I think that's maybe what we'll do. If we can download the file from Google Drive and display it, I think that'll be better. So maybe we'll display each patient instead, something like that. Let me go back here. I'm gonna get rid of this, and then this is probably fine. Input text. Oh, I don't want this function. maybe what I want to do is a feature that does a filter for males or females, something like that. Let me do a copy over here. Actually, let's make a more simple web app that doesn't involve the observation file, and we can solve that next time. Instead, can we create a simple web app using the patient data alone? Basically, I want to be able to do all the same things, just remove the observation data and create a new function that will allow me to see all the data for the patients in Mimic, and however, I want to also have a new toggle for whether the patients are male or female, and another one. Actually, we'll just keep it simple like that. Here is my current code. Let's see what it does. That should be a lot more simple. Show patient data. And if this works as is, maybe we'll add a couple other ones to make it super simple to like filter the patient data. Okay, let's give this a try. Down here. Go back here. So it's up to load data. Okay, function to download. Okay, so let's see. We have a function for parsing patient record, download from Google Drive, confirm token. Here's the loading data. Here's your ID. Here's your data downloaded. Parsing the data and returning the data frame. Load data. So we get the data into the data frame. Let's see if this works. Okay. Hopefully that worked. Let's maybe give it a try. So go here. Let's go to Streamlit. Sign in. Mimic. Or actually, it's on my repo, so I need to actually go to my GitHub repository. Okay, and then I need to modify the code in my app. So if I go here, I want to paste everything in here. Okay. And let's do a commit. Let's go back to Streamlit. Oh, beautiful soup. Was there actual beautiful soup stuff in here? PS4. Thing about Streamlit, and I actually might have to create this, is that when you're downloading new stuff, you have to have a requirements text file as well. Let's see if we actually need it for requests. Oh, maybe you don't. Cool. I think we got our web app working. So here is 100 patients. Looks pretty good. We hit mail and show patient data. Looks like we got our mails. Cool. Nice. I think we're good. Maybe I can add some other quick ones to it too, so it's a little bit more, just a little bit more feature rich. So let me go here and say, okay, that worked. However, I want, it looks like I have to press the show patient data button each time, and that adds an extra click. Can you make it automatically filter the data frame based on what's currently selected? Remove the button and add Streamlit to automatically update the display data. Load if does not equal all filtered else. Okay. I basically just didn't like that button. Going back over here, what I'm going to do is just modify that last bit. Did I even copy the right thing? Oh, yeah, I think I did. Okay, there's no button. Let's see if that works. I want to remove that button that's here. There it is. So now when I select it, it should automatically, yeah, that's much more clean. So like it'll dynamically filter immediately instead of like clicking that extra thing. Let's add another one for maybe like race. Is it only, there's not that many. Oh, what's this down here? It's like duplicated. Oh, oops. I didn't want to do that. Let's do this instead. Hopefully that fixes this thing. Yeah. Let's add one for race. And then maybe instead of birth date, the age. So I want to do like an age filter, maybe like a starting age and ending age kind of thing. Okay. Okay, that worked. However, I now also want to add 2 new filters. one for race and another and one for age. However, for the age filter, I want it to be a range. So I can select the minimum age and the maximum age. Let's see how that works. Date time. We probably need the requirements txt file for that, I think. Oh, they're adding a new column to the data frame too for age. This might actually be incorrect because I probably need the age at the time the patients entered it. So, you know, when you're thinking about this, there's definitely a lot of rigor that should be added in how we analyze the data. The way I'm doing it right now is absolutely incorrect. Again, this is just a proof of concept to show how we can grab FHIR data, process it, and then turn it into a web app. And we'll do more cool things with it later. So proof of concept, ignore some of these like incorrect methods that I'm using, like the age, race filters added. Actually, we'll do this. I was just say let's remove the age, but I think it's cool. Again, it's just a proof of concept. So let me add these. Oops, I wasn't even showing this. What I want to do is grab all of this, go back here, add this here. I don't need beautiful soup. Date time. Yeah, so I wonder if this is going to work. And if it doesn't, that's actually good because I can show you guys who haven't used Streamlit yet what you need to do when you want to import a library that they don't already have. Okay, and then I need all of this down here. Cool. Let's go back to this, and then I think it was in the main and load data. Yeah. So let's give this a try. See if this works. Oh, something errored out. I don't know if I didn't copy something over from here. Load data, calculate age. Oh, actually, I wonder if it's the in main patient DF load data. Let's see what it says. It's kind of weird. I don't know if when they added the, oops, not this one, the load data. Data frame. We added this. Load data. Race filter. This seems kind of strange because there shouldn't have been anything that was wrong with this. Let me try just adding the requirements for this to see if that maybe solves the issue. Date time. So like I was saying, if there's a library in date time, is that what it was called? Date time, yeah, date time. If there's a library that's not in Streamlit, you need to add a requirements.txt file so that it can process it. No, looks like it's definitely something else then, because I'm still seeing this error. What I'm gonna do then is go back to a previous version. I'm trying to find the whole file. Oh, there it is. Because I just want to go back to an older version. View file. And go back to an older version of this. And remove the age. I assume there's something wrong with the age. Kind of weird. I don't know why I can't edit it. Be on a branch. Oh, because I'm in history right now. Let's go here. Go to app. Modify this. And then copy paste. So this will bring me back to my working one. Maybe not. Race, ethnicity. That's kind of strange. It should have. Let me reboot the app. Because that should have been the same code as before. So it's a little strange. It's another 2 hours spent on this. And if this works, there's requirements. Error processing dependencies. Oh, interesting. Let me just get rid of the file because we don't need that right now. That's not what I want to do. Go back and delete file. Let's see if that clears it up. Let's reboot it one more time. Manage app. The initial building of the app definitely takes a lot longer. A lot longer. There it is. This is kind of strange that this is not working. Maybe let's keep it even more simple then. Parse patient records. I don't know what it changed. It's very odd. Let me go back to the history one more time. So no, this one. So I'm going to use this file. Go back here. One more try. See if that works. Yeah, this is strange. It's something I definitely need to explore. I don't know if it's because like once you download it, you can't go back and access it. It's very odd. Oh, I meant to share the screen, so that didn't fix the issue. I think what I'll do is, because it was a working web app, and I think that's where we want to end it, is to, when we're loading the data, do we have the parse patient record? Yeah, parse patient record. Load data. No, I want to keep it this way. Let's see this here. Expecting value. Let me try to turn it into another one instead. Oops. Go back, see if we can do a new one. Let's do app2 .py. Okay. Mimic and app2. Oops. App2.py. And if this doesn't work, I think we're just use the file that was uploaded to the GitHub repo. And then the next time we come back and do this again, to explore using the Google Drive API to grab the file instead of just manually downloading it from a link. Less stable, as evidence from what we saw tonight. Good learning experience though, in terms of like what you want to do when you're handling files outside of Streamlit, especially large files. Let's see. Well, at least that worked. I think we'll just keep this and then call it a day. All right, let's do a quick cleanup. So anyone that wants to watch later can do that. Let me go here and basically delete this one. And then go back here and let's give this settings a mimic FHIR. Change the name of this. And then go back to the repo. And I'm going to get rid of this thing. Okay, let's go into the README. Say web app on Streamlit web app. The deployed web app can be found here. Change log. Let's just do this. So this was 1/6/23 or 24. Created first proof of created code successfully, but was unable to deploy to web app due to downloading files that are too large. 1/7/24 unsuccessfully parsed observation data due to size, temporarily omitted it and descoped the web app to just the patient data. Web app fully deployed. This is probably too long for a full change log, but that's fine. Okay. I think that's it. All right, guys. That was a long 2 hours. I don't know if anyone else made it to this long since I was mainly troubleshooting the whole time. In any case, if you did tune in or if you're watching this in a recording, thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you all again very soon.